Welcome to another episode of Finding Serenity in the Midst of Chaos podcast. Today, we are talking about letting go of control to find inner peace. Stay tuned. Hello, Ian.
Hello, July.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good today. Yeah, these
Yes.
weeks fly past, don't they? Doing
Don't
these
they just?
podcasts. Yeah. Wow.
Don't they? It's nearly Easter. Oh my God. It's just.
Just around the corner. Early this year in this country.
It is,
Well,
isn't
everywhere,
it?
I suppose.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I can never get my head around Easter timings or whatever.
You can write a computer program to work out when Easter's going to be for each year. It's
I do not intend to do that
no,
because I
no.
don't like to.
Interesting formula.
I don't like to control things that are outside of me, she says.
Oh, very good. Yeah, that gives a bit of a hint as to what we might be talking about today, possibly to help people.
Absolutely. We are talking about today letting go of control to find inner peace because our listeners, not necessarily video watchers, will remember previously in some of the episodes we've talked about letting go of control because that was one of the things that allows us to find inner peace. And why that is because controlling others and things that are outside of ourselves is a waste of our energy. And if you remember, we talked about it last week, the four most common mistakes that lead to burnout. The number one mistake was trying to control everything, everyone, every situation. And worrying about things that are outside of control is all it is a drain of our energy. And not only that, it just kind of steals not just our energy, but our peace. Our headspace and everything else that comes as a result. And that's what I wanted to allude to today. And I want to give an example of how I've practiced this yesterday or earlier this week.
Oh, right. This is a live and up-to-date example, yeah?
Absolutely. And
Great.
you know what?
I love it.
My clients keep asking me, how do I do this? How do I do this? It's not a how-to guide, because it's not about how to do something, it's about why aren't we doing some things.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because on the face of it, everyone knows how to manage their time. You know, there's millions of time management related stuff out there. And if you're in corporate, if you're a professional woman or in some sort of capacity, you will have at least had one time management training. And this isn't about time. It's always about how we relate to any topic, and in this case, time and controlling others or being in control. And that's what takes our peace away. Just a very simple example. So here goes the example. On a Saturday, this last Saturday, I was in the car waiting for my family they just went off to the shops to do something, and we were parked in an awkward space. So I stayed in the car just in case I had to move. And I was looking at something on my phone just briefly. And a few minutes later, my phone died. Like literally, there's no service. I can't access any data, nothing. It's like, fine. Sometimes these things happen. You're in a funny spot, whatever. As we move the car, nothing is happening. As we came home, I'm on Wi-Fi. Then I get a notification to say that your mobile data is not working. Yeah, well, no shit, Sherlock. Yes, I've noticed. But it came as an error message, and I went into settings, tried to do all these things, but nothing was happening. So, okay. The obvious thing to do with these things, as you're a computer engineer, you take it off, you turn off your phone, turn it back on, hoping that it will be fine.
It's the classic IT joke, but let me tell you this, it solves 80% of the problems.
It does, doesn't it?
Because everything has to start again and reinitialize. And it does, there is method in the madness, but it's great. Switch it on, switch it off. Love it.
Which I did about a few times, in fact.
I'm glad to hear it.
I did do it a few times, yet nothing had changed. And it's just searching for something that doesn't exist. Story of our lives, right? Of course, but the immediate reaction would be to panic. But it's like, no. I asked my husband, do you have your signal? Because we are on the same network. Perfect signal, no problem at all. And it shows up. Okay. later in the day, after a few more turning off, turning on, I decided, you know what, why don't we swap SIM cards to see whether it's the problem coming from the phone or the SIM card.
Yep, I'm with it.
The
Good
next
idea.
obvious thing to do, right? And I swapped the SIM cards. His SIM cards perfectly works. No, his SIM card works. No, sorry, my SIM card works on his phone.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
His SIM card didn't work on mine.
Right.
Which immediately thought, of course, this is a phone-related problem,
yes,
like a hardware-related problem rather than a software.
My IT skills are confirming that here.
Yes. So I wait a few more minutes. Well, by this point, it's the evening. I was just like, it's Saturday. Who cares? Whatever. We'll do something. It will sort itself out. I check the network. Oh, we are trying to fix a problem, which kind of made me, oh, okay, that's fine. It'll be fine by the morning. I go to bed and go to sleep. Still a bit of niggling thought at the back of my mind. And
can understand,
every time it comes, I just like, it will sort itself out no matter what.
Yeah. Determination to think
either way, it will be sorted, whether you get a new phone, whether you whatever, it will be sorted.
Sure.
And every time I kind of want to wake up to think about it, this is what I said and went back to sleep. And the morning, nothing. Sunday morning this time, I call Apple support and they've run some diagnostic tests that are other than what I've already done, something internally to the phone, and they confirmed it would be a hardware problem, like something physical as opposed to whatever software, which kind of was a bit weird because I did nothing to the phone. I was just literally just sitting there looking at the internet. Anyway, to cut a long story short, they said, oh, you can get it fixed. Well, I'm not going to get an iPhone that's like 6 years old in itself, but like 10 models back, fixed.
Sure.
I might as well get a new one, which I had the intention from last week already that I wanted to get a new iPhone.
Okay.
For the purpose of the listeners, I generally get one kind of refurbished secondhand and unlocked phones that I can use for a few years, because they are quite good anyway in whatever model they are. So I did that. I bought it from somewhere that we already know. We've already bought our previous phones and whatever, ordered it. I even paid extra to get it delivered on Monday because I was going away this Thursday somewhere and I wanted to make sure that I have a working phone. All great, all done, sorted. We went to Oxford. There's still it's searching, eating up the battery. Nothing is happening, but I'm on Wi-Fi, so I can still have some contact with the outside world for, whatever reason. The next morning, my battery died. I plug it in because I'm doing my morning exercise. Then what happened? Then what happened is that my phone comes back. The signal is back. Everything is back perfectly.
On the old phone, the original
on the old phone. Yeah, on Monday morning, as if nothing has happened. I was like, wow. I just paid an awful lot of money for a brand new
one.
Perhaps I should cancel it. But that's kind of thoughts in my head. This is perfectly fine. I can wait till September, pay less, and all these sort of things. And there's this funny feeling inside of me that something doesn't quite sit right with me. Mm-hmm. And I was glad the phone was back, but something wasn't sitting right with me. So at 9 o'clock after school, I opened my email and to say, oh, this customer service, supposedly the place where I bought my phone from, our system suggests that we need an authorization code from your bank and we need you to give us that code and all this. This doesn't sound very right. And I called their helpline. Sorry, the phone lines are closed for maintenance. Are you kidding me? I was like, what? Oh. So that's hilarious. Okay.
Oh no, what a nightmare. What a mission.
Well, as soon as we kind of smelled this fishy kind of situation, we called the credit card company and to say, well, this is what's happening. I think we might need to cancel the transaction. They said that's fine, give it 30 days. If you don't receive the phone by then, it'll be fine, we can cancel the transaction. So at that point, I was actually, this horrible feeling had gone. I decided I'm gonna send a message to the email addresses that they provided. There was 2 different ones, and I've sent an email also reporting this issue, whatever. I had nothing, no communication from them on Monday, which is now starting to sound even more fishy.
Yeah.
Right?
And
but at the same time, I'm just trusting it's okay. It's fine. Whatever it is, it will be sorted. I either get the phone or they will cancel it, or I'll get my money back regardless. And my phone is still working. So I had this peaceful feeling that everything would be fine because I did everything that I could to make it sorted.
Yes.
You know, and this is a distinction I wanted to make. We're not trying to control everything. We're not trying to grip it.
Yeah.
But we are doing everything that we can just to manage the situation, but not getting emotionally involved. Why did I do this? Am I silly? I shouldn't have paid for it, and all of that sort of stuff that normally could go on.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And yesterday about lunchtime, I got the message, your order is now being cancelled.
Wow.
So the biggest thing that would have been in my mind if I let it stew on it, or what if I received the phone and I have to then, because I changed my mind, I had to send the phone back and then I have to incur a charge, all of this. None of that. That would have been worrying, but I just whatever it is, it will sort itself out. And it did sort itself out.
It did. Yeah.
And it was a good thing. And the second example of letting go to find the peace is that I do the weekly classes in Zoom, and I do this as a LinkedIn event, and I invite people every week. And I invite them, even though there's a clear link, this is why you need to sign up. Not many people sign up to the actual Zoom link, even though they express an interest.
Okay.
And so I have to kind of send reminders, and this is kind of a, laborious process for me. So yesterday morning, I felt really tired, and I just felt like, you know what, it's fine. Whoever needs to be there will be there. I just had this really peaceful feeling that I've done everything I could in terms of send the messages. I put the link in there. I even did a post about the link. I don't need to worry about it anymore. I'm just fine. It's okay. People will come.
There's a common thread there, isn't it? I've done everything I can within my power and control, and now I must leave it. I must put the baggage down on the floor and don't pick it back up again. Put it on the floor, let the weight go, walk off.
Yes, this whole trust thing, isn't it? Trust and surrender. I think that's your word of the year, isn't it, Ian?
Surrender is for me, Yes.
Yeah. And, my intention, which is my word of the year this year, was to, reach as many people as I can and spread the word of, how they can help themselves much to as many people as I could. But then, when I put all the processes in place to make this happen, it's not in my control anymore whether somebody signs up, whether somebody sees the message, whether they get into the right place. None of that is my problem unless they reach out to me to ask for help, further help. And instead of, sometimes my energy could drain if I was just like, why aren't they signing up? Why aren't they coming? All of this sort of stuff. And I have been in situations like this, and you probably might have found yourselves, listeners, in similar situation. Why isn't he calling? Where is he gone? What's happened? Whatever. That's just a waste of your energy. It's stealing your inner peace. You just got to let go and trust the situation will sort itself out when you know that you've done everything that you could in your power to make it happen. Because everything else is just outside of you. Yeah.
That's great. No, that's some practical real life experiences, covering a lot of what we were talking about last week as well, isn't it? About the control
isn't
stuff.
It? Yeah. And the number one
that's great.
Mistake that was the control, which most of us really suffer. I still, occasionally find myself trying to control how my children will feel in a certain situation, but realizing that I can't control it, I can't have their experiences for them. They have to experience it for themselves, and I have to be there when they come back to deal with the emotions that come with it. And the same with you. Whatever your boss does or doesn't do, is you can't influence that. What you can influence is how you feel, how you deal with the situation. And that's what peace is all about. And I hear, before we finish off, I hear people say, but how do I do this? How do I do this? How do you stop a car if a child runs in front of you? You hit
emergency stop, bang on the brakes.
That's
and the
right.
clutch.
You don't sit there and think, but how do I do that? Do you? You just brake and that's it. And this is as easy. It's about a decision, about letting go and trusting that everything will work out. And more often than not, it does. And even sometimes when things don't go our way, it still works out. And that's the beauty of this whole peace situation. So yeah.
And it's so important, and we all do need it. It sounds, we're not talking about peace and quiet and relaxation and floating on the air and stuff. We're talking about peace of mind, aren't we?
Although that would be nice too. Yeah.
Oh, it would. Yeah, I've talked myself into it, but that's a little optional extra. That's a little bonus, that one. But,
actually, I like that you said that, Ian, because people think about, oh, I need to just sit and relax and whatever. But sitting and relaxing doesn't always equate to you being at peace inside. Is the stuff that goes on in your mind, that's the stirring up all the time. That's the sort of peace we are talking about, the inner peace.
Indeed. Yes. Yeah. Brilliant. I love it. Thank you for sharing the real life examples.
Thank you.
That's what we're about. We're, as I said last week, not about just reading stuff up and regurgitating it and whatever. It's the classic old thing about on the bike, isn't it? If you want to learn to ride a bike, you get on and fall off and experience the pain and everything that goes with it. And
absolutely,
we're just here to share our experiences and help you to be aware, not to beat yourself up for falling into the trap. It's just realize change can be made.
Yes. And just before we go, thank you for watching and listening today. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to be updated every Thursday when we release these videos. Plus, as we said last week, the first part of the burnout series training had gone out this past Tuesday, 19th of March. If you want to catch the replay of that and catch the second part coming up next week, please register with the link at the bottom of this video and in the show notes, so you can come and join me and all the others listening to this amazing series of training. Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.